Yeah, I was talking to my brother who's passed away's daughter, and she was saying she got a medical bill for x-rays or something in the mail that was like, I think she said $20,000 one x-ray, some sort of x-ray or CAT scan or something, and how she don't work, but her husband does, and he earns about $30,000 a year, and she figures they go in and probably get maybe 10 of these X-rays a year. And I got to talking with her how would this actually physically work if you earn $30,000 a year and get 10, $20,000 X-rays? How could your insurance possibly work when you work in a school district as a janitor? How could insurance possibly work? And then we were talking about things, and that's kind of how it worked in the past. How is it going to work in the future when we got a governor that won't do a budget because he's trying to balance it? You can't balance things like that in the future. That's like if you're over in Peoria, we're not building any roads like we used to. In Peoria, they're going around Peoria and building a few interstates because the federal government finances the interstates a little. But in Fulton County, we haven't built any new roads since before I was born. There are no new roads. The WPA built the roads that were built before I was born, and nothing new has happened. There's been no new roads. They patched the roads. They just kind of halfway patched them, or went in and tore them up and redone them. But there's been no really rebuilding the roads. No really they replaced bridges, some of them, but there's been no really big. We've done nothing as far as infrastructure, as far as doing new stuff. Nothing to expand what we got. We've never really had any population boom around here to speak of. We're stagnant. We're a depressed community. We're not planning for the future like we should. They've had a few school expansions, but not like we ought to. But where would this money come from? I think we ought to invent it. I did on the last commercial, the last ad, which I didn't hold up long enough. I don't know if it's going to stay in here because the web's down in my building, and I can't put it out on the web to see if the number will be up there. I didn't hold the number up long enough, so I don't know if the number is going to show. But anyway, before I did the ad, we were talking, and that's like, how would you figure that if that's the way they did it in the past? That's like wars. We've had a lot of wars in the past, and they always seem to have enough money for them. That's like if your driveway, would you have enough money to build you personally, would you have enough money from where your house is to pour a cement driveway and the cash money in the bank? I don't mean if you to pay off all your bills, would you have enough money to pour a cement sidewalk if you didn't have one right next to your sidewalk from your front steps out to wherever the road is, a wide enough sidewalk, a cement sidewalk wide enough from your front door or maybe your back door to the road? We were talking, and then pay cash for it, and then figure the road. I was like, she lives in the country. Maybe you don't live in the country. The road from where you live to where you work. A concrete road from where you work to from where you live to where you work. Figure if you can't afford to pay a sidewalk or a driveway from your house to where your road is, How did the government come up with the money to build a road from where your house is to the city or to your job? This money was invented. The concrete was manufactured with labor, and the labor was paid for with invented money, and after they did it, they had to put the people to work because the people were idle, and then they called the money a national debt. After they put the people to work to do it, they called the money a national debt. But it boggles my mind that you didn't have the money, and now they want you to give this money you didn't have. They want you to give the money back, and you didn't have the money, so you didn't have it, and once you give it back, they want you to pay interest on it. If you don't have something and they give it to you, and then, then you work hard for it, and then you kind of have it, and then they want you to give it back, and you give it back, how can you pay interest on it? How do they think you can do that? You can't give back something you didn't have and then pay interest on it. That can't happen. Thank you. Bye.